Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
I'm Nana Faraka. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
You must imagine it's about 11:45 before
Yes.
midnight. And so the first thing he goes to Hufetwanye and says, "My dear brother, please do it for me." And he answered, "For you, my emperor, I'm ready to do it." Then he goes to Nkrumah and Sekou and tells them the same thing. "Please do it for me." They both had tears in their eyes. And he said, "For you, our father, we will do it." So he brings these two people together, makes them shake hands. And the birth of the Organization of African Unity is perfect. That's how it happened. You can read about it in more details in my biography of the late emperor called King of Kings.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabe is giving birth in a place called Erjersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Lich Tafari's father, Ras Kassa, is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras Kassa is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras Kassa knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Lich Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting, and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwasi Bonsu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
Right now, we have an amazing uprising that's taking place on the continent of Africa with the AES, Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali. However, I want to just take some time. You told me a story that touched my heart, and I would be remiss if I didn't allow you to share it with our audience about the formation of the Organization of African Unity and His Majesty's role in bringing together the Monrovia and Casablanca groups. Just give us some of that history leading up to the formation and the importance of Ethiopia in the foundation of Africa that we see today emerging.
Well, of course, it started much, much earlier than
Yes.
1963.
Yes.
Ethiopia, as the only African country that was a member of the United Nations, in every session after the Second World War, Ethiopia brought the question of the decolonization of the African continent to the United Nations year after year.
Yes.
And in the middle, as you know, the emperor was the man who brought the great Mandela to Ethiopia with an Ethiopian passport,
Yes.
trained him in counterinsurgency warfare and sent him back,
Yes.
you see, and did many other things. He tried to really plead that peace should come to the Congo.
Yes.
Ethiopia
Send troops down to the Congo.
sent to the Congo, to the United Nations, and I'm proud to say, in those days, the commander-in-chief of the United Nations forces in the Congo was our dear Ethiopian General Yasu Mengesha, who was supreme commander of the United Nations troops there. And he, of course, played a major role in bringing peace between Algeria and Morocco.
Yes.
When he was still when he became the first chairman of the African Union at that time, of the
Organization of African Unity.
Unity, absolutely. He was the first chairman, which rotates every year. And in that time, he really did something. And as far as the birth of the O.A.U. is concerned, they were completely going two ways. And Nkrumah, together with the president of Guinea, Sekou Toure, on the one hand side, and the more or less francophone colonies, colonies on the other side, did not come to one agreement. As you rightly said, the Casablanca and the Monrovia Group. Now they were going to, the conference was going to end with a friction. It was going to, they were all going to meet 3 months later in Cairo. The emperor, but was still full of hope. So it is, you must imagine, it's about 11:45 before midnight. And so the first thing he goes to Houphouët-Boigny and says, "My dear brother, please do it for me." And he answered, "For you, my emperor, I'm ready to do it." Then he goes to Nkrumah and Sekou Toure and tells them the same thing. "Please do it for me." They both had tears in their eyes. And he said, "For you, our father, we will do it." So he brings these two people together, makes them shake hands. And the birth of the Organization of African Unity is perfect. That's how it happened. You can read about it in more details in my biography of the late emperor called King of Kings.
Yes, and we'll be sure. I'm going to be ordering that book, and we'll have a book review, and we'll ask everyone to order. We'll put a link in the description so that everyone can order. It's a must-have in your collection. As you can see by the knowledge being shared here today, where we are being treated, I want to be respectful of our elders' time and energy, and I would like to have this as just a part one, because there's so much topics, so many things that I want to, I'm dancing around because my mind is exploding, because you have so much firsthand knowledge that we seldom get access to, other than in books. So I just hope you forgive, I'm asking questions all over, but I'm in heaven right now, just getting this knowledge. One of the things that I want to just quickly get into some of the critiques that you have, because this channel, we're not an echo chamber. I'm very transparent. I do see Haile Selassie as the embodiment of the Almighty in flesh and bone. I do acknowledge the divinity of Yeshua, but also Melchizedek. as a archetype of that Christ consciousness, and but for the royal family, the emperor is just a great man, and we agree to disagree respectfully, because religion or spirituality is personal, the state is for all. But I want
greatest things the emperor said.
Yes.
Great things the emperor said.
Yes. So
universal.
I want you to share for my audience, some of the critiques that you have, and we spoke off camera about some of these things, but I want, from someone who loves the emperor, it's clear that he loves the emperor, so we don't have to go back and forth about that. But I want people to also know, other perspectives, so that when we think about the emperor, we can be armed with perspectives, so that we can reason along that line. So what are some of your critiques in hindsight of the reign of the emperor?
Of course, my critique becomes ridiculous when one sees what has happened to Ethiopia after the end of the emperor.
Okay.
That is one thing I have to say. But as a man who believed in democracy and in a constitutional monarchy, I find that a little bit more could have been done after the first revolution. You see, the Almighty showed us, if you don't watch your steps, look, this might happen to you. He showed it to us lively. When so many people were killed, people who had worked with the emperor so closely. Only to mention the great Ras Kassa, who was killed during the revolution of 1960. The great prince of Tigray, Ras Kassa, was killed, and many other 16 of the most brilliant Ethiopian leaders. So I feel that the Almighty had said to us, you must do something. Things are not, as perfect in Ethiopia as they used to be. And unfortunately, these 14 years, my expectations also as a member of the younger generation was that the emperor would continue leading us towards democracy. He would keep leading us to more power to the people. To more changes from the top, which we needed desperately. And because these changes did not come, I'll give you an example immediately. My late father, General Labi and General Merid, were the people who were the loyalists and who played an important role in the bringing back of the emperor in 1960. And these were the same people who 2 years later wrote a memorandum to the emperor, which is now being circulated all over Ethiopia, asking for more changes, for constitutional change, for change in land tenure, and various other things. And unfortunately, these expectations were not fulfilled. There were also others who pleaded for more changes to come from the top. You see, I am a believer that the only way to avoid revolution is to come with reforms from above.
Well, for unto us a son was born and a child was given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called the Wonderful Counselor, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Them call him Listoforai. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Them call him Listoforai. When he was grown in airplanes he fly. They call him Listoforai. Lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Them call him Listoforai. We don't Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then, born near the city of Harar, the inspiration for Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England or Cote d'Ivoire, no matter if you're brown or black like Qatar. Haile Selassie I fi end all tribal war. A time fi gather Mount Zion, fi drive solar car from the car straight to Zanzibar. Who we are, the sons of Rastafari. When he was born, rain fall from the sky. Rastafari, when he was grown in airplanes he fly. Then Rastafari, the lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Then Rastafari, read your Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Royal governor from the age of 13 years, leave the palace fi go back in a school with him peers. He's the head without fear, he's one to be revered. When them call his name, then the heathen scare. Plus the priest concerned and him teachers concerned, cause all this little youth want fi do is just learn. But he wait his turn till him turn the Dejazmatch. The people rejoice when him crown as the Ras they call him. Rastafari, when he was born, rain fall from the sky. Then Rastafari, when he was grown in airplanes he fly. Then Rastafari, the lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Then Rastafari, read your Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Well, Ras Kassa call a meeting with all him general them. Say him funeral a come and him have something fi tell them. Him say, we fight together since the days of Adawa. Him say, protect my son and help him unite Africa. Well, him generals, them start cry when them hear this sound. Them say your wishes are come and then bow down to the ground. When him funeral they come, it shock the whole town. Fi see this little youth, him have a army surround, they call him